Tuesday. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to FYI.
Yes, welcome.
For your information, I'm Gerard Finance alongside
I'm
Gerard
Gerard.
Duncan this
Yeah.
morning,
Yeah,
and
that's
it
me.
is Tuesday, the 7th of
Tuesday.
June, 2022. It has
Wow.
been
What
it
a
has
perfect
been
day, the 7th.
quite a morning
Tuesday, the
thus
7th.
far.
Yeah.
Quite a morning, I
Yeah.
can say that
I started the morning outside, people outside. That's how I started outside.
Listen, Sharon went and took a, was it a walk or
Yeah, I
a
had a
jog?
walk. I was a walk, run, jog.
What is that?
Also. When I was walking fast enough, I ended up into a run.
When you were walking
And when I
fast.
was tired, I ended up into jog, into a walk. Phased approach.
Sharon
Phase
was in the
approach.
National Park this morning, getting his workout in, getting the blood pumping,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
That's good for your heart. That's
Yeah,
what I think
yeah.
the cardio specific, cardio as it is, good for your heart.
Once gets older, you got to take your health in hand.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's see what.
Good morning, everyone. Chiselle, Chipper, 60 Chiselle. I've been seeing Chiselle has been having quite a morning. This morning, she is in the comment section. I'm noting your comments a little earlier. I didn't get to catch all of them, but I'll be sure to circle back to them when we're out. Because,
Please do.
I'm noting she's making comments about the IMF and how that is going with advice and recommendations coming and going. Nevertheless, I see Beatrice Selby this morning, and I see
correct.
I see Chen Sing Henry this morning also. Am I saying that right? I don't know if I am. Chen Sing Henry.
I think so.
I hope so. Rudy Hines, good morning to you,
so.
Rudy. How are you this morning?
Yeah.
And
Fitzhubbard.
Same thing. Jarek, my goodness.
Today's
not. I have
you have my day yesterday. My day yesterday. Welcome.
I'm not going to do it. Share takeover.
I thought I was stupid. Yes, they say I'm stupid. Anthony Edmondson, good to see you. Rhonda Spencer Thom, Claire Capel, and Marlon King. Yolanda Thomas. Good to have each and every one of you. Pace and power. Terrence Beaton. Good to see you as well. No, it's not Beaton. Beaton. Couple of extra. Beaton.
You went to the airport or something.
Chen Sing Henry. Yep. I passed by.
When you drop somebody at the
airport. Beaton. Even Waldron. Good to see you. Cherry Baskin Granage.
This morning is. Listen.
Good morning, folks.
Guys, listen. I have. Yesterday we have.
Tell us.
We're having our own internal politics and all of that going on. So yesterday, Sharon and I was basically catching up on how our politics started. Listen.
Long history.
Listen, we have done
long, devious, shaded history.
Some things I have to contemplate whether confession is not good for.
Yeah. We're not going to tell everything today.
We can't tell you everything. We can't.
Yeah, lives will be shattered.
But it's just interesting that,
many lives will be shattered.
To note all the
how devious you were.
The political maneuvers that
came along with them.
And the things that we
student
had
politics
at
UG,
at the University
competing
of
against each other.
Yes, I remember specifically one day, Sharon had a lot of endorsements.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one it for him, I can tell you.
Yeah. We were big like that. Lots of endorsements.
A lot of endorsements.
Lots.
And we woke up one morning, we saw photos throughout campus.
Yeah.
I'm
giving my vote.
I am giving my vote
to the revolutionaries. That was a campus party.
Yeah.
And
at that point, I learned what is called is horde mentality.
Horde mentality.
Right. Because
we had a lot of supporters. We got a lot of endorsements. A lot.
We have been actively throwing our hands with political maneuvers.
The good thing
we're in university.
The good thing is we can look back and talk about our university years. Everyone can do, Everyone got one picture of university life. Yeah, one photograph.
Which is that? I never saw
his time at University of Iflot. Who are his classmates? Did he run for student government then?
Student what? You have to have students to run for student government.
Candy Jones, good to see you guys. Carl Fordyce and Judith David. I see Chanel McDonald's is here. Charlotte, how are you doing?
Chanel said my politics started before I was born. My grandma. Oh, I missed that comment.
No,
I have to get it back.
I call him back.
Yes.
I dial him back to Chanel.
Yes.
Let me see if I get it here. We gotta have Chanel on the morning.
We have to have Chanel.
Chanel, stop dodging from us. Bring some of the politics on set. let me see what we have here. 2 times. I'm a little slow this morning.
You're a little slow this morning. Well, Shauna, can you drop that comment one more time for us? I'm gonna
ask so fast.
So that we're gonna get it. But I know Shauna, but I can get the essence of Shauna has not she is no first time generation.
Yeah, she's no fly by night.
All right, she has had politics basically in her DNA, given her family roots and everyone that her mother, everyone would know her mother in particular has been that phenomenal political figure there in the PNCR. So everyone knows Shauna, and Shauna has been quite the shaker, mover and shaker.
And you know what? I see Shauna says she will come indeed. You know what? Yeah, she says, my politics started before I was born. My grandma, my mother, and myself. I go way back, and I need a break now. No, stop that.
Shauna,
stop that.
Behave.
Stop that.
It's good. We went back to that comment.
Yeah, stop it.
Behave yourself.
Stop it.
No, behave. Right? Chanel, take a break. No.
Marlon Thomas says she loves my shirt. You don't see these comments.
I never saw that. Sure. Where is it?
Marlon, right there. Marlon says she loves my shirt. You don't see these comments to read them. She won't be great at all, boy.
Chanel's laughing. Chanel, you can't do that.
Stop it. Stop it.
Chanel have a unique way of politics. I think one of the big things I appreciate, and I've never said this to her, so she's going to hear it now. One of the things I appreciate about her specifically and her personality is that she doesn't sugarcoat anything. You know, she's very straightforward. If she don't like you, she don't like you.
Everything I like with you.
If she doesn't
right up my alley.
If she doesn't appreciate something, she just say it. She don't really care about how you feel about it. This is her position on it, and I appreciate that. You know, it's always
very
better
candid.
for you to know. Yes,
very candid.
Very,
good
very
to see
candid.
Yuli Trotman and Anthony Edmondson. Anthony again. Seymour George and is it Shireen Heidekin? Hohenkirk, sorry.
Hohenkirk.
The eyes. Shireen Hohenkirk, good to see you. And Sharon Alfonso. All the other guys joining us. Facebook user. Good to see you. Each and every one of you folks, you know what you got to do. Share and smash that emoji. But, you know, I was saying that Chanel is like Amanda, you know, they look very well. They've kept very well. They have too much like green sun. But they got age, you know, they got age. They look good. Look good.
Let me tell you, I was totally shocked when I realized Chanel wasn't 16.
Yeah.
You know, I thought she was 16.
Yeah, I was shocked that Chanel got a big son like me, you know.
I didn't get it. Like, what?
I was very shocked by these things.
Good genes.
You know, but, you know, the more you live, the more you learn. More you live. Good genes. Is Levi, is Docker?
Levi Docker.
What kind of genes is it? Vanessa Thomas, good to see you. Where are we, Juita? I know you're finding you. Marjorie Budaram, good to see you. And Sasha Trim, Karen Clark.
I'm trying my best not to miss
Karen Clark, how are you, Karen Clark? Lincoln King, how do you do? Good to have each and every one of you. Mimi Hendricks, Mimi, I ain't see you for a little while now. Mimi, all is well? I ain't see you for a little while.
Shauna, let's try out her age there.
She says she's 40 years young.
That's impossible.
And if I remember correctly, for her 40th birthday, she had a world tour. She was in Aruba. She was Chanel.
Chanel's further?
Huh?
Get the hell
out. No, I'm just saying. When she celebrated her last birthday, I don't know if it's 40. G-Com still out in this. CCJ going my valid age.
Chanel's probably
valid age only.
I give Chanel. Give Chanel at top probably at like 29.
Yeah. CCJ is valid age only. But her last birthday, she was on a world tour. She went to Aruba. She went to Miami. I think she went to Egypt.
She was good.
She went around. When I grew up, I want to be like her, you know.
Oh, lovely.
I want to be like her. World tour. I know. We get the file. Kishan Sharma Ram, she said he's 43 years young. Congrats to you. A lot of young people in this program, man.
Yes, I feel like
a lot of young people here. Yeah, a lot of young people here. Roger Norris is here as well.
Hey, Roger, how are you?
Norris is here. Sue is here.
Roger, I'm coming your way as soon as possible.
Sue is here.
I'm giving you a heads
up. Heads up. She's heading your way, Roger. Sue is here as well. Who else do we have? Sabatry Zal here. She said, talk the things. We intend to do that. Don't ask twice. You gotta ask twice. Cherry. Is it Claire, Alexis, Charmley, Richmond? Claire, how do you do? So good to see you, Claire. Hope you guys are having a fantastic week. As you said, it's Tuesday already. It's the 7th. Fairly decent weather outside. I don't know if the sun will give the clothes a chance, but 3 days now I tried to dry some clothes, but I don't know. It's just there. right? If you one bless us with a washing machine, go right go with a
A
dryer.
dryer.
Same
Sure,
thing,
use
washing
dryer.
machine, dryer.
It's a dryer.
Same thing.
No,
Right?
wash, dry,
Like I
different.
fed up now. I fed up at the outside.
It's different.
I see somebody say they praying for man. So man was with us yesterday. What was it, last week? Prayer Manza, I'm missing it. Prayer Manza is feeling much better. Yes.
Yes.
Amanza is feeling much better. I tell her, when you get a certain age, you can't overdo it. Right? She wants to do
what?
it. She
What
wants
is
to
it?
do.
I'm just being
Right? No, she
facetious.
carries your age and so on, and then you want to do all kinds of things, gymnastics and so on. She hurt her shoulder. She hurt her shoulder. Want to do all kinds of gymnastics? I said, man, sir, we gotta be cognizant. Right? We're right there. We can.
We take longer to recover.
Yes, we take longer to recover.
Yes.
So, all kind of gymnastics she tried doing, she hurt her shoulder. So,
Chanel is upset about something. I cannot mention it.
Right there.
Chanel is upset about the people talking about why Mr. Norton, leader of the opposition, why persons are saying that asking why he didn't want to shake Irfan's hands. And,
I think he didn't see Irfan's hand. Look, he's busy. He was distracted by something there.
Yes.
And it happens. Sometimes you stretch out your hand, you don't know somebody stretching out their hands.
Well, I think when I saw the video, I think in this COVID environment, a lot of people have not been doing a lot of handshaking and more
course.
like fist bumping or elbowing.
Just like every catfish hand you want to shake. There's a crime now. I ain't want to shake your hand. We got your hand. Use a married man. Everybody hands just want to shake you. We can't just drink a beer and chill. You want to shake my hand too? Shucks. Right? But that's those countries, Y'all getting a whole life and cost Mr. Norton, he disingenuous, he this, that, you want to shake my hand. Look, sit down, man. Sit down. Madness.
Absolute craziness. And guys, I think everyone in the comment section is going to agree with that. But we have...
No, but I think what they said, Mr. Norton didn't see his hand. If one little thing to his hand short. It's like...
What you mean a little thing?
It's like, what was that cartoon? Not cartoon character. The dinosaur cartoon thingy. Who was it? The purple dinosaur. Can't remember. Barney had short. Remember that? Barney was a little bulky with a short hand.
I'm not into this.
You mightn't see the hands. That's the problem. Right? We shake hands when necessary. When you're going to a big high level meeting, you don't want to shake hands.
Yeah. You
right?
sign, you ink it.
No, you come in like...
You make an agreement, you shake on it. And handshake had meant so much prior,
Yeah.
When persons, especially when negotiations are had and agreements are made, persons, we shook on it. And I remember like older folks would talk about it, and we shook hands on it, and it's like seal the deal.
Yeah,
with this handshake. But now it's like,
No.
Well,
I think it was an instant thing. I don't put much stock in that.
I didn't put a lot of
because if you look at the video, notice Mr. Norton had to look back after he touched Mr. Norton. Surely he had to look back. Right? Yes. Mr. Norton was looking forward to the future. We ain't looking back like that. Shucks.
Oh, goodness.
A small thing, man. Small fries.
Small potatoes.
Right? Yeah.
Good. And I see as we're still there, I see this channel we're gonna definitely need you in to come in.
Rock and come in, channel. You just say where you want to come.
Sit right there.
Rock and come in.
You just name the time, we're gonna accommodate,
Right?
If we gotta schedule another program.
Saturday, Sunday.
Whatever.
Special like that. Let's rock and come in. Where would you eat? Where we?
But we have a lot to go through, But
I hope it's because we don't have a program.
we have a lot to go through.
I just hope so. Talk to us.
Charlie just had to give me a blank
moment. I just hope we have a lot to go through.
Just give me
a short program this morning. That being said, folks, thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Osman Hodge. Go ahead.
Folks, we're getting some information and we're going to be bringing it to you later, but I'm just going to put you on alert as of right now because there's a situation that occurred in at Peroni Landing, up in Peroni Landing at the mining area there, in which a young man and his wife was burnt. Someone threw gasoline on him and then lit the fire.
Wow.
All because he was his wife was a friend of the assaulters. Well, I think it's her ex-lover or something of that nature. and the details are coming out a little bit sketchy as is right
People
now.
were lit on fire.
But they were stopping him from. He had a cutlass in his hand, basically trying to get to his ex-lover, and they were basically in the way, stopping him. He went back and get gasoline and threw on him a little of fire, and that young man, I believe, the last I heard, was fighting for his life, and his wife was also burnt. And we're going to be bringing you the information as the information comes to us, because I don't want to just push out information and names and so forth until we have confirmed it. Like I said, we do our homework and we want to confirm all of these names.
Good morning, Candy. Good morning, Candy. I see the comment, Candy. I see the comment. Mayborn King, we see you as well, and Linda Barker. GT Boy, good to see you. Mural King, all the kings here, majesties. Marilyn Thomas is here as well. Good to see you, folks. Paulette Hicks and Sukchan Sudhari, all our favorites, and of course Chanel Smith Daniels too, and Sue is here. I've been noticing Sue's been following us since that interview. Sue here, she's a big interview. Sue's always here, right? Yep. But our thoughts and prayers go to those two folks who've been set on fire.
Yeah, but
landed.
A lot that I think I am bringing that because this is part of a wider discussion that we've been having for quite some time. Because this is somebody that basically was intervening to stop assault on a young woman, and now he is fighting for he and his wife. He's fighting for his life. That's the best information we have received of this moment. And we'll be definitely bringing that to you. But we constantly say, when it comes to abuse and domestic violence and those things all together, those things are just well, this is not a case of domestic violence, but more so gender-based violence.
Correct.
And I can say that
might be attempted murder too.
Well, that is a whole different
manslaughter.
Well, I know that there have been some photos circulating as it pertains to the individual that they're looking for. But guys, as soon as we confirm it with the police, we're going to be bringing you that information.
And lock him up.
Yeah.
Lock him up. Lock him up. Yeah.
It's crazy. Very, very crazy.
Nikki Moses, we see you. And Chanel says, dark days are here again. It's true. It seems very reminiscent of pre-2015. Very much so.
Duncan.
Right?
I am
welcome back, Bernadette. So happy to have you back. We missed you, Bernadette. Good to have you here. Good. Shay Gibson is here as well. Good to see you, Shay and Sandra Ford, and Sukchan Sudhari. Right? Actually, there is another version of Shay, as in CHE with an accent at the top. That's what I wanted to name my son after the Cuban revolutionary Che Guevara. My wife said no. I want to name something else, but if you have a daughter,
and your wife one?
I want a happy life, so.
That's the most important part,
Joking.
What your wife gets.
Yeah.
Simple.
What's in the morning paper?
We don't demand a lot more. But I just wanted to update on something else. I know that Sherrod touched a bit on this. What's wrong with my tongue twisting this morning?
What have you been doing?
Sherrod touched a bit on
this today?
Last night, but I just wanted to confirm at this point in time for all the parents out there, you have your children in school and so forth. There was talks from the Ministry of Education that they were planning on actually having classes into the August holiday, because that 2-month holiday, they're saying that there was so much learning lost and all of that they were planning on having classes into the August holiday. Well, teachers and students all together did not feel very happy about that, and a lot of pushback was given. And I saw an announcement made yesterday by the Ministry of Education's Facebook page that is saying that the July-August holiday will be as per normal this time. So this is what you do. If you don't like it, you push back and they listen. That's
I'm happy, we got enough trouble with Ivor University and so on, and students who are enrolling. We don't want our students going to school in August.
Yeah, but and as we're on school also, I just want to give an update of what is going on at the DC Fox Secondary School there at Ramadan. We have been covering the story and the details coming out of that, and basically the treatment meted out to the students at that school. Very, very disturbing details as it pertains to the meals that they have been eating. As of right now, yesterday midday, I can tell you specifically that yesterday midday they had curry chicken with rice. Yesterday midday, and then yesterday afternoon it was as it has been reported, colored rice with some chicken. Right. So, guys, listen. And the reports are that they do not have a large supply. They're short on supply of flour and all of that. So it's very, very concerning as to how those students there at the DC Fox Secondary School in Ramnam are being treated.
I was listening to a voice note with somebody, a student from there, who says they've never seen bake, they never eat, they don't make bake and so on. They don't make a little roti.
Yeah.
It's just rice. Everything is rice. Everything Robert Dog Secondary is rice.
I'm also made to understand from the students there that there's no real menu that is in place that actually have a balance.
Somebody thieving out the money. That's what I'm telling you. I want to pretend.
I don't.
Somebody thieving out the money, thieving out the ration and so on.
But something
54 point something billion
wrong
for education in the last budget, and you tell me we gotta eat white rice.
Something is seriously wrong with that. Right. But I do know that the conversation is being had and the information is out there, and everybody is now up and traveling. Flights are heading in there to Kamrang, and then persons make their way from Kamrang to Ramadan to see what is going on with the students there. Finally, you have to keep noise in order for them to understand what is going on. That's the only language. That they
Indrani, you understand that? Yeah.
That is the only language that they understand altogether. Yes, so we can go into what is happening, and I just want to touch on one bit when it comes to the international news. And guys, listen to me. I'm just going to touch the surface of this because we're going to have a better discussion, because I know some bit of news is going to be coming out today also on this matter. But Boris Johnson.
Yep. Lots happening with Boris. Not having an easy time at all. Not having an easy time.
Boris Johnson. Oh my goodness, he's different. Boris Johnson is different, as you can clearly see him there.
He sneaked past this confidence vote, this no confidence vote, by the hair of his chin. Barely streak past it.
Boris, I just want to know who is Boris' hairstylist.
Baldwin did. Since he was the mayor of London, he had this hairstyle, and he has kept it. It's become his signature. But I don't know, it's gotten worse over time. Right.
Boris Johnson, wins the confidence vote, but badly won't it?
He shows to. He can't afford a little coal man.
But it is one scandal to the next with Boris. It is very concerning altogether. Like one scandal after another. What are we going to do? I think that Boris has. I think he needs to find an exit strategy. At some point in time, I think in politics altogether, when you're planning on entering politics, you must also be contemplating your stint altogether, and your exit strategy must always be in play. Never be forced. Your exit strategy must always be in play. Boris is there.
Boris different.
Boris is very, very different. Very different.
Much so. Good to see all of you guys who are joining us. Do remember to share the broadcast, or let's get valuable information. What did Johnny say?
Indrani has a comparison for Boris.
Indrani says that Boris looks like the white critic. You want something? I didn't recognize it till they pointed out. I think you're onto something. Boris looks like a white critic. You might be onto something. Bernard says you need a wig. Bernard Duncan says Boris needs a wig.
Boris looks better in photos that he is still, posed for and so. But then when you see Boris on the go, those images is just different. Like Boris just puts together himself anyhow.
Just there. Just there.
But he survived. Interesting enough, we can say what we want about Boris. Boris has survived thus far. They have been strategizing. They have been coming at him. It has been an organized effort to get Boris out. But Boris has been surviving. So whatever he's doing, he is doing it. He's keeping his head above water. And let's see how this goes. We're going to continue to follow what is going on there in the UK with Boris and all of that. Because it has been quite something. Boris having parties when the country is on lockdown. Boris is going at parties and dancing in large groups. Then there was the other issue with persons looking at pornography whilst being in the parliament. Man, Boris has had his hands full. So
a lot.
And then there came that vote, but Boris showed that, hey, I'm still on top of this, and I got this covered.
But closer to home, while not yet home, closer to home, this sad news yesterday, Teresa. Tell us about this.
Well, the Dominican Republic, the minister was shot dead in his office, and I think that that by itself has so many concerns, especially when it comes to the security mechanism that you would expect to for the minister to have there. That is a government minister there, and being and the fact that the security was breached at that level is not something that anyone should be comfortable with, and any of the other ministers, as a matter of fact, should be comfortable.
We one report says that it's a friend of his.
Yeah, but then another said that they didn't know. Yeah, so
that kind of thing.
It's a little confusing as of right now.
But guys, on this side, we still love to know who are the intellectual authors behind the Saturday assassination. This nation would still love to know that. Right? This was a sitting PPP minister who was shot to death along with his sister and I think brother-in-law.
Yep.
The security guard also at their home. Shot to death. A sitting minister assassinated. And years after, there is no commission of inquiry. Right? No commission of inquiry. Well, they probably know who did it, so they don't need a commission.
Yes.
They probably know who did it.
Well, as is, I want to say when it comes to this particular situation with the Dominican Republic minister. Well, first of all, he was a minister of environment. His name's Orlando Mayra, and I wanted as being reported, like we're seeing some news are saying that it is this childhood friend of him that actually committed the act, while some other news are saying the person is unknown. But again, put all who the person was aside, I think it shows a severe lack of security. If security can be so easily breached that a minister could be shot and killed in his own office.
Yeah.
Right. So that is something very seriously for their Home Affairs Department or whatever they label it as to look into at this point in time.
Correct. And we got this other bit of news which is just in Colombia. In Colombia, the president broke some rules there. Much like the other case we were covering, broke some rules there, and for that he's paying a very, very high price. Right? A very, very high price there. And the story tells us that in Bogota, Colombia, a court has ordered the President Ivan, right, to be fined and placed under house arrest for 5 days. Why? It says that he failed to comply with a previous court ruling that demanded that he protect national park. Demanded that he protect national park. Well, he didn't want to listen to the court. So no, it's 5 days. 5 days under house arrest, and he has to pay a fine. In some countries, you're not above the law,
They're different there. They're very, very different there. That's what I can say, because in Guyana, we our experience here is quite the contrary.
Tell us.
Our experience in Guyana is quite the contrary when it comes to the law and who the law applies to and who the law conveniently does not apply to as well. We have been seeing the law being utilized and misused and abused on so many fronts. And we continue to say that should not be the order of the day. And those systems, the judiciary, altogether, legal arm, should not be influenced by the political will of persons in power. That is my convicted belief. That is what I'm going to stand with always. Those bodies should be able to function independently so that they can hold everyone accountable, including those persons there in office. So let us see how and that goes. But Guyana, we have a long way to go in getting to that point in time. And as I see, we have been slipping once again on the corruption index, and it doesn't spell well for us altogether.
Slipping. Yep. Go ahead.
No, you
as we run that, folks, as we pass that, and we close it to home, we're looking at some of what is happening, and big hotels coming. I don't know who we're putting in these hotels, but a lot of big hotels.
I can tell you who will not be in the hotels.
Us.
Who will not be in the hotel are the working class persons of our country, and also the poor people living in this country. Those persons will not be there. The majority of Guyanese will not be there. That's what we can say. So forget about who is going to be there. The quite simple answer as to the occupancy of there will tell you the ordinary Guyanese man and woman will not be able to be there. Right? Listen to me. Sometimes you have to spell it out as is. We have hotels in the country right now. Right? No, we have hotels in this country right now. We have different categories of hotel accommodation in our country right now. And as of right now, we have thousands of people, tens of thousands of people who cannot afford to even go to the hotels we have right now. All right. So when we're looking at all these things that are supposed to be added to development altogether, you must ask the question of who does it really benefit, you know? And I am all for development. I'm always for development, but I'm for equity as well. And I think that is a platform that I will continue to speak on and continue to champion, because there is no point in you telling the ordinary Guyanese that, oh, we're going to be doing this bridge, oh, we're going to be doing this, oh, we're going to be building these hotels. And so if they can't afford to utilize these things because their pockets are not deep enough to afford them that level of comfort and affordability to go and say, oh, let me take my spouse and go and have a relaxing weekend at one of these new hotels. And so it doesn't make sense if the ordinary Guyanese are not in a position to benefit from it. So I say, kudos for all aspects of development. But if you're not bringing it with equity and balance in the country altogether, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And you're going to go back to the whole system of what Mia Motley was speaking about when she was saying, becoming tenants in your own land. And we don't want a situation like that. I, for certain, don't want a situation in which persons are coming from other countries, filling up hotels here that Guyanese cannot afford to utilize the surface of. That makes no sense. It's not for the benefit of Guyanese if it's in that direction. And government have to play the role in making sure that the poor working class, lower middle class income earner persons can actually benefit. They have to empower them to get to that level. Let us not try to mix anything, and I don't sugarcoat it. You know how I am. I just say it as it is.
So that's happening on that front. And then you got some very, very, very sad news we're following. And this is about Carl Davison, who was stabbed to death recently in the East Rumville squatting area. They moved Brigham Secondary from where it was an actual Brigham, and they put it in East Rumville now. What's supposed to be temporary turning into permanency. But this happened not too far from that school. Again, Carol Davison stabbed to death, and they have apprehended 3 females and 1 male in relation to this story.
Wow.
Sad.
And again, we're talking about the crime rate in the country, gender-based violence, domestic violence, all of these things we have been repeatedly speaking about, and every single day. I don't believe that there has been a week thus far that we did not have to come and speak about someone losing their life.
So pervasive.
I don't think that there have been one single week.
It's sad. Our thoughts and prayers go to Carol Davison's family, and we hope the persons who will have inflicted this grievous bodily injury on Carol, they brought to justice.
I see Paul Passad in the comment section, and I have to respond to this because Paul Passad is questioning what I'm speaking about, equity. And I know a lot of persons come in the comment section and they try to go down and try to make their point. And I said, Dress, I don't think you understand what equity is. What I can tell, like for clarity, and for the persons that are listening to us right now, when I speak about equity, I specifically speak about, and I always belabor the point of poor people and low-income earners and those things. And what I can tell, I think Paul needs to do some research, because if Paul does the research, he would see the one startling example in our country when it was shown, when an opportunity was given to the administration to demonstrate that they have a slight understanding or care rather as to equity. It was when the last announcement was made as to salary increases, when the administration found it necessary to go to the National Assembly and say that we're going to give a 7% across the board to everyone. 7% across the board. So for Paul, I think that it's very important for him to go and do that research now and realize that that is the exact opposite of equity. That is the exact opposite of equity. And I can tell you, I think Winston Jordan was the one that did it with such finesse, in which he always made sure that when he was given salary increases, it was down to the very keenest mathematical calculation to make sure that at the end of the day, the income inequality in our country and the gap between the rich and the poor was not something that was expanding, and the equity was there, and he was actually making it in such a way that persons were able to have a better life. And you were not seeing this big bracket between the wealthy in our community and the lesser fortunate in this country. So when it comes to equity, I think Paul needs to go and do a lot of research, because equality and equity is some startling difference. So let us just put it out at that point. You know, sometimes I have to, don't come at me with the economics if you're not ready with the details.
That being said, again, our thoughts and prayers go to Carol Davidson's family. And we're following also lots of stuff happening. We following Princess William, Princess. Did I get that right? Williams, yes, Princess Williams.
Well, you have been doing quite a piece of work on this particular matter. You've been doing quite a piece of work on this particular matter. But one of the things that I'm so concerned about with this is that the same thing that I was concerned about when it came to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp case. In which Johnny Depp was actually suing his ex-wife Amber Heard for defamation, and for persons that had been following that case. And guys, listen, I think it is necessary to have this discussion at this point in time. They are real victims of domestic violence.
Correct.
They are real victims of abuse altogether. They are real victims of rape, and it is not okay for persons to go out there and pretend that they have been victims.
It is not at all.
They are not.
It is not.
Oh my goodness.
It's not at all. It's not at all. So that's what's happening on that front there. And not only that, Princess Williams would have faked that she was ill and got them to take her to Georgian Hospital, the police at the East Rents police station, and she escaped from there, So a lot happening with her. A lot happening with her. Hope she has a lot of time to reflect.
Well, it has been as it is right now. 3 years. Sentenced to 3 years is quite a bit of time for a young woman, and that is not something that nobody wants for their daughter and all of that. But I do understand the position that the law is coming from when you were saying it can be okay for persons to just come to try to bring false allegations against someone, because if the young man was actually charged with the offense that she was claiming, then it was very likely that he would have been sentenced to way more than that. So very that's a sad situation altogether, because it's not okay. It's not okay what she did, and it's not nice that now you won't have to go and spend 3 years in jail. But an example has been made, I can say that. And for all the persons out there, don't take light of these things. It's not okay for you to defame someone. It's the defamation altogether. It's a big issue, and I think more and more in our country, I'm seeing cases coming up with persons taken to the court when it comes to defamation. So I say that's the way to go. Kudos to those folks. A lot of times people come out and they say things that they don't have an iota of evidence for, but they're saying it nevertheless, and that is not okay.
Correct. The other story following, guys, another story following is this one. All right, and Rita, you're familiar with this?
I'm too familiar with this particular matter, if I can tell you that much. Very sad, let me tell you. Guys, as you're seeing it right there, both Captain Sagan Hopkinson found inside the tank there, and it's a fuel tank. And this is someone that everybody knows in Bartica Region 7. So I want to start off by saying, my sincere condolences to his family, his mother, and his entire family on this. This is a very tragic situation for the family to be dealing with. Young life, extremely young life, snatched away it is as sad as it is, because I know a lot of details has not come out about this particular issue, and all that has been circulating thus far in the media sphere is that he was found in this fuel tank. But everyone, and there are a lot of questions are being asked as to how he got there and all of that, given that he is no amateur to this all
in the fuel
together.
tank. It's very bizarre.
His job, he has been dealing with this for quite some time.
Quite bizarre.
Yeah, so we will be bringing updates on this particular matter, but I have my own bit of theory, but it's not about bringing theory to you. It's about bringing the information. As of right now, the information is that he was found in a fuel tank, and we want to say sincere condolences to his family. Very, very sad time. And as more details emerge out of this particular story, we'll be bringing it to you directly.
Correct. Live and direct too. Live and direct. Another issue we're following on the local front, folks. What's happening with some of our oil and gas companies not seem to be treating our workers very fairly at all.
Well, as I said, well-known oil company hikes pay for foreigners, but blanks locals. This is nothing. This is not something that is new. I think it has been properly ventilated, and we can ventilate it again into the. We can ventilate again here this morning. The fact that complaints were made prior. About what is going on. Complaints were made prior. Sorry, folks, I've been distracted here about what is going on with these companies, and particularly the fact that Guyanese are not being treated as the foreigners are being treated when they go to work with these companies. I know specific information was coming out, and a lot of allegations were brought out on about one particular company when they were saying that the Guyanese workers were left to even eat after the foreign workers had it. So when you were hearing things like that, that's as crazy as it can be. It is absolutely crazy. You know, how do you get to that point?
I'm not seeing the Labour Ministry taking a very strong position on these issues at all.
Well, I think we have quite a good understanding about the Ministry of Labour and how they operate. Because as you would remember, when we were speaking, I think it was yesterday when we were speaking about announcements that were being made by the administration, it was none other than Irfan Ali himself that was saying that he is awaiting the cabinet. The cabinet rather is awaiting paper on proposed new minimum wage.
And they're still waiting.
The Minister of Labor.
They're still waiting. They're still waiting. They're still waiting.
No, and we can actually have a little bit of discussion on that, because it goes back to what I was saying a little earlier when we're talking about all that is being done and the way it is being done within our country, and the fact that the ordinary Guyanese, poor persons, working class citizens of our country are not benefiting from things that are happening right now. And more importantly, we can go back to all of the research that has been happening as it pertains to Guyanese and how they're coping right now with the inflation rates.
Correct. We had an FYI study. The report came out. Stating that people are in double digits, people are dissatisfied. You know, they aren't getting money, they aren't moving forward, you know. Double digits.
But I think the most important part of that specific report was that that wasn't even the IRI report. That was the report that followed after. So many papers been writing on Guyana right now, and one of the things that is being said is that persons are skipping meals, and that is as profound as it can be. The reports are saying, and these are not reports that are being made by opposition. This is not the opposition reports, right? So you can't go and say, oh, you're fixing these numbers and you're reporting whatever you want to report. These are the independent bodies that do international studies. They're coming forward and they're saying these are the findings, right? So I've been seeing a lot of pushback by some persons, I'm specifically Gail Teixeira, when it comes to the reports that are coming out. I know that she was attacking the IRI tremendously and saying that basically trying to tear down the credibility of the report and all of that, but we're not going to be having that at all. So guys, I know you're in the comment section there, and I want to, I don't want you to feel left out of this conversation this morning. So you let us know in the comment section what is going on at your end. How are you doing things over there?
Yes, yes. Again, good to see Indrani Likaram and Muriel King. Good to see uh, Stacey Bradford Stacey, Muriel, all over this live here, all over. Beatrice Selby, good to see you as well. Great to see you. Good to see you. Yep. Christine Figueroa is here as well. Drita? Yeah.
That is correct. And I want us to touch, if I could, I want us to touch on something a little bit as we move forward, guys, about the benefit of resources and who it is going to in Guyana. And I want to note that an article that I saw that Starbuck News, I believe, was carrying up to yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But the headline really caught my attention because these are the most important issues at hand. And it says a youth advocacy group says the government needs civil society help to ensure policies benefit the whole of Guyana, right? And still to get dialogue with minister. The youth advocacy group is saying no, very importantly, and I want us to have a little bit of a discussion on this if we can. The youth advocacy group is saying this group is coming forward and they're saying the government needs to be basically in collaboration with civil society in order for them to ensure that the policies that they're putting forward are going to benefit the entire Guyanese. I want to make a point because
tell us.
a lot of times we actually I'm being a little distracted here. A lot of time, guys, we actually forget, if I can say it like that, that some of the things that were mentioned in the budget, specifically when it comes to the Ministry of the Presidency, and that is something that I must speak about right now. I'm not gonna pretend that it is not happening, but in the budget, I would have told you that there was a budgetary allocation last. I'm gonna be by myself a little bit right now, but in the budgetary allocation, guys, there was money set aside through the Ministry of the Presidency for office of the president as it is right now, for this youth group, basically. Guys, this money was set aside in the 2021 budget. At the end of 2021, when the 2022 budget came to the House, not a cent was utilized from the funding that was allocated because they have no interest in actually setting up this body that is going to have youth representation. In 2022, they came back and they brought the same line and they said that we're going to put it up, and they have been doing their work and they have been consulting with people and all of that. They have never consulted with not one person on this matter. And I know for certain that I'm yet to see today is the 7th of June. There has been no announcement thus far on this matter. If we continue to press it, if we continue to speak about it publicly, you're going to hear them try to come and bring an excuse or so forth, and then they're going to come and they're going to push some people together that is going to have their own personal agenda at hand. Because as we've been saying time and time again, the only time they put units together, the only time they allow bodies to function is if they have found a unique mechanism to make sure that they are directing how they operate from internally. So most definitely we will be looking at that. But I want to say kudos, I see Dr. Kwesi Grant being featured here as the person when we're talking about the youth advocacy group, and I want to say kudos to Dr. Kwesi Grant, and keep pushing. We have to keep pushing from all angles. We cannot be giving up at any point in time. I'm noting my comments are building up, but I want my comments to be released at this point in time so that I can continue to follow in the comment section as it is right now. But a lot can be said about the real how the administration value actual input from civil society or the lack thereof. More importantly, I believe that you will realize very quickly that there is no interest in actually getting feedback, and the only time they actually do it is when they want a nice photograph or they want to have a good headline. But when it comes to the actual function and the functionality, has been to date absolutely no mechanism, structure that has been set up to make sure that advocacy groups are given a platform, an ear, and they are inserted into the structure so that their voices will mean something at the end of the day. Consultations, as it is being done right now, is in the most haphazard way that you can think about. It is unacceptable at every level, and we will continue to speak out about it all together. Guys, I'm seeing Dawn Baines there and Marlon Lorimer in the comment section. I see Naomi Jocker say, like Sharon gone on a toilet break. I'm gonna be. Don't worry with me. I have nothing to say. Don't worry with me. I have nothing to say on in that regard, but he is. You can hear him. Most importantly, you don't have to see him at this point in time. So he says. So he says. But guys, we have to continue. We have to continue a lot of work. I'm going to be pulling up. Just bear with me for a little bit because I want to pull up a basic report. Because as you know, every Monday I have Public Accounts Committee, and I must report and give you an update on what went on at the level of the Public Accounts Committee yesterday. And I want to specifically talk about an economic fund that was being discussed, and I'm going to narrow it on that specifically because I see it being headlined on some online media, and not quite the best way, as I can say, not quite as accurate as I would hope that they would set out to be from time to time. But we know who we're dealing with, so we have to. One of the things that happened in the Public Accounts Committee yesterday, for folks that follow it online, is that we were examining a region number 2 yesterday. So the administration actually have to send persons, the technical officers that manage the regions, the regional executive officer and those supporting staff there, that comes before the Public Accounts Committee to answer queries that has been highlighted in the Auditor General's report. Yesterday in particular, I know it was Mr. Shearer, member of the government side of the House, that was questioning on the spendings that was being utilized through an account that was an economic account. What was unveiled yesterday, folks, is that since prior to 2012, this account has been managed in the most haphazard way possible. I know that a reference was made, and I think in particular the way in which it is being managed right now was most concerning to me, because in the discussions that were had, the question was asked, what is the account being used for right now? And the answer basically given by the administration, if persons come in, and they don't have monies and all of that, they would, between the REO and the regional chairman, they would make a decision to give the person some money, And I made a point very clearly there at the PAC that is unacceptable. There is nothing that allows for those decisions to be made in such a haphazard way. And when those funds and accounts are being set up and created, it is being created with a purpose. And no one has the authority between meetings of the RDC to decide by themselves that they are going to be utilizing the funds against what the funds was intended to do. So a lot of work has to be done. And I know when it comes to public accounts, let me just say this, our aim is not to say who did this and who did that. The aim is always to fix it so that when you move forward, it is fixed. Right about now, our country, as I keep mentioning it over and over, this budget is $552.9 billion. It is not okay to have systems in place that are defective. That is not okay. It's not okay that persons, time and time again, from the beginning of time, have been able to walk away with a slap on the wrist for things that they should know better. And it's definitely not okay for officers that are signed to do a job, that have signed on to contract, to do things contrary to what the law provides for them to do, and then to come back and to try to say, well, oh, this person made me do it, and that person made me do it. A whole lot of work to be done to fix what is going on there. And as I can say, I have been doing my analysis of the issues that have been continuing over time, issues of overpayment to contractors, substandard work being done, and all of those things. And I can tell you, as far back, I've been looking at reports from 2004, reports of 2000 and 2010, and all of those years. The issues keep repeating themselves, but I'm trying to just basically determine the pattern so that we can actually get real solutions as we move forward, because it is our job to make sure that we provide the necessary mechanisms and policies that will protect the coffers of our country. And it's not okay for us to just be repeating the same things over and over as a country. So a lot of work needs to be done there. I'm seeing Marlon King saying, "Where's Sharon? Why is he so quiet?" So Marlon's making sure that
Marlon, right here.
if she can't see Sharon, she wants to hear his voice altogether. But guys, Diane Graves, Zandy, is always such a pleasure to have you folks with us every single morning. Like we said, do your part. I see you've been a little delinquent. I'm not too proud of how you've been working with your shares. I see Yolanda and Glenford Gordon in the house this morning. Marlene Thomas, Indrani. Okay, I see Indrani, your comment is going by so far, and she said, "I want Guyanese. I'd want to know why Guyanese are not seeing what the government is doing, you know." So they're campaigning while doing outreach around Guyana, and that is absolutely correct, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to utilize your money to come to you to make promises that
to do foolishness
they can fulfill. And there has been a lot of promises, particularly when it comes to one of the biggest issues in our country right now, and that is the issue of job availability. You would know that the administration went in there.
They're talking about that.
They can't say that it was Photoshop. They went in there and they said they're going to be provide 50,000 jobs. But when the rubber hit the road, they're at a point right now that they cannot deliver that, because they have put absolutely no policy mechanism in place to make sure. They have put no policy mechanism in place to make sure that can be delivered as is.
The wicked, that's the whole problem. Wicked.
I want to also say.
Yeah.
So,
Can I get a break with some of them?
This is maybe onto something.
Can I get a break with some of them?
Yeah, but they have not put any policy measures in place, and it is basically insulting and disrespectful to the fact that they have resorted to going around the country and saying that, particularly the vice president as is, going around the country and pledging part-time jobs to persons for a couple-month period and listen, and I have
band-aids of handouts and handouts.
No, but I've been saying this, and you're going to remember, because I'm going to bring the numbers to you later on again. When they decide at the end of the year, or however is it that they want to give out data like that, when they decide to bring the numbers on the amount of jobs that they have created, they're going to try to go and include those promises of part-time jobs throughout the country into that markup. And at that point in time, you and I are going to have a different discussion, because I don't sugarcoat it, and I'm telling you right now that is the aim. The aim is to say that they have fulfilled a significant part of the promise to deliver 50,000 jobs, and I call it BS from now, and I will not be accepting that at any point in time. So I've been calling some things out when it comes to the sugar industry altogether. I've said they're going to come out and they're going to say, prior, I said they're going to come out and they're going to say, oh, well, when we got in there, it was such a mess, we can't save it anymore. So said, so done. That's what they're trying to say. But I warned you prior, because we know the beast, we know who we're dealing with, and they have one set of political strategy that they continue to repeat over and over again. And Guyanese, I love each and every one of you. I love the fact that persons are becoming more and more aware. Persons are informed. They're going out there. They're looking for the information altogether. And they're saying, hold up, this doesn't make sense. You're coming to us and you're telling us, but this doesn't make sense. Why you told the guy that you didn't have money to do this, The information that is being shared and disseminated altogether, it has been such a wave. They have not been able to keep up with that.
Yeah, I see a lot of people wondering where I was. You can't step offset for a second. We're there. Actually, we have one of the lights here that was a little too close to my eyes.
Yes.
It's like I was finding it hard to keep my eyes open. The light was a little too close here. So I had to step off a second and recalibrate
It's the old
iris.
age. It's the old age. It's the old age with Sheridan. Nothing else. There's no other excuse.
But the experience that I go, if it is welcome come. Oren Barker, good to see you. Yolanda, Marilyn King, Mural King, you're up with business and tick. Good to have you guys. Good to have Vanilla Garnet. Good to see you. And is it Lachu Mahabi? Lachu Mahabi, good to see you as well. And all the other folks. Chanel Ross. Lovely, beautiful folks. Hope you guys are off to a fantastic start for Tuesday. You know, the week is running. Tomorrow is the 8th already. Wednesday the 8th. And, you know, it's like month 10 already.
That's correct.
Push up, Ali, folks. Pick up the pace. Whatever you beautiful folks have been doing, pick up the pace.
Yes, exactly. So again, I'm always in the comment section when it comes down to the end of the program. I try not to miss as many comments as I missed so many times. It is my duty to make sure that I get the information that you are sending our way. It is always good, credible information. There's so many times that I'm so absolutely amazed at the level of depth of knowledge that is coming out from our viewing audience. It's so phenomenal, and I'm so proud of each and every one of you.
Yeah, true.
I see the younger Zandy is saying in Linden, you are not even getting the part-time jobs that BJ come and promise is a good thing. I was not looking for it. Yeah. So very important. That's why I said promise, because that's, as of right now, that's what it is. That is what it is, because they're passing it through. Even, you know, the sad reality is, right, that even these things that they are trying to do, they have put themselves in such a bad position that they have removed persons that are actually good workers, hard workers. So now even these little things that they're trying to implement, you know, these plastering all over, they're having difficulties implementing it because the political filter that they're trying to pass it through is full of incompetent people that really can't get the work done even for them. Yeah. Right? And that's the sad reality of what is going on there. They have a bunch of incompetent people that they have put in place to be political figureheads for them, for their purpose. And now when actual work is placed on those desks, they can't deliver because they have no knowledge of what to do and how to do it. And that is the reality that they're facing. But I keep saying they are digging a hole for themselves, and it will be all hell and high water. I want to see how they can climb out. Yep.
Good to see Yvette Wolford and Bradford Stacey Bradford. Good to see Naomi Drucker and Amabel Clement. Good to see all you beautiful folks. It's been a pleasure this morning having all you guys around the breakfast table. We've always put up a chair for you guys. We're looking forward to seeing Chanel, sometime, Chanel, wound up in your business too. Leslie Charles and all the other good folks. Good to have you guys.
Yes, Leslie, I see you there.
Guys, you know, we often talk about you guys partnering with us, and these months have gotten a little harder, you know, to do the program. A little harder, and we're just encouraging you guys to really come on board. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, we get a whole set of money here, like it's, you know, thousands of US people send us. For some reason, you'll be surprised. It's just a very, very handful of people who help us on a monthly basis, and we're asking you guys to come on board and help us to keep the lights on, help us to keep the doors open. Everything that they send to us go back into building these programs. So we want a certain look, you know. You could be like I'm a member of the opposition in the National Assembly, but you don't have a look, you know, opposition, you know. You could be poor, but you don't got a look, you know, that kind of thing.
Got you.
Right? You could get little values and little ethics and that kind of stuff. Right? And so even though we're on this side of the aisle, we can look, we can still look a certain way. And that's been our goal, to get people valid and credible information. I like what Amanda said yesterday on our podcast. You know, informed citizens make informed decisions.
That is correct.
And you can only do that with good information. That's what we committed to do. Bringing you guys good information, morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Bring you guys credible, valid information. But it costs something. It costs us quite a bit to get it all done, to literally keep the lights on, keep the internet going, you know, and keep this whole thing moving day after day, you know, show after show. 17 shows per week.
Wow.
17 shows per week, keeping you guys as informed as we can, you know, 17 shows per week. And it takes a lot of people behind the scenes to make it all work. And we're so thankful for a good team, and we're thankful for you guys as well. So, you know, Partner with us. Partner with us. We got PayPal. We got Zelle, Cash App, MMG. That's a local Cash App. MMG, PayPal, Zelle, Cash App. We got MMG. We're available via MoneyGram and Western Union as well. And I can't implore you enough and let you know that all of it, all of the contributions we receive, the gifts we receive, go back into billing out these programs, you know, and getting things done. And it's a 24-hour exercise, and I think Julia now being with closer to the programs now for the last few months, got a better appreciation what it takes to make it all happen.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. You know, persons don't understand because usually, and I have to say, if I can say it like this, is that I would often look at the comparisons of persons. For example, this is a morning program that we're doing, and we have persons utilizing state resources, taxpayers' dollars, millions of dollars to get their program up and going, and they can't get to that point. So you can understand the more limited
they got about 50 people watching them. You know,
the more limited the resource, the more work you have to put into it.
Correct.
Because when they have persons, you know, technical persons editing this and editing that, and then content is a different team and all of that, you know, when it's split between a few persons, you really have a different appreciation for the amount of work goes into actually providing the program. So we encourage you to make sure that you come on board and you partner and you do our part, your part, whilst we do our part. So very, very important.
And please do not run away with the idea that, you know, this is too small, you know.
No,
some people might be embarrassed, you know.
No.
Don't worry that. You don't worry that.
I think
do what you got to do.
The Obama campaign and administration, when they were campaigning to go into office the first time through the Acorn organization and all of that, they had done a phenomenal job by saying, you know, each American, you just give $1. Mm-hmm. You just give $1, and basically that campaign was completely was funded heavily by ordinary citizens, you know. So it goes a lot. It just shows that you, the people, have the power, and your collective voices and your collective help and resources can go an extremely long way in moving mountains.
Correct. And we just want you guys to know that we are committed to this. We are committed to this. You know, we have our parliamentary work, but as individuals, we love bringing credible and valid information to you. We love this communication aspect to what we do. It's part of who we are. We're going to continue to be out here building up these programs, keep tweaking them, get them just right, all for your viewing pleasure, and making sure that you have valid information, valid, credible information, because I love that mantra now. Informed citizens make informed decisions.
Correct.
Yep.
So thank you for joining us, and have
an
awesome day. But let me just remind you, let's remind you of the platforms that you can contribute on. We have Zelle, we have Cash App, we have PayPal. MoneyGram, we have PayPal, we have Western Union. MMG, which is our local Cash App, as I'm shared with Sue eloquently say. And if you want and have any difficulty and need additional information on how you can contribute, just make sure that you WhatsApp us on 627-6963, and we'll be sure to get back to you immediately.
Look at you.
Thank you.
Are you like a pro? Folks, that's it for today. That's it for time. See you guys back at 12. You know, we are tweaking our podcast, and every day we have a different theme now. Yesterday was dollars and cents. The artwork didn't quite come out how we wanted it to, but today we're looking at least we forget, and we pick a topic in history, something we think is worthwhile, reflecting on. Least we forget. So see you guys at 12.
Have a good day, guys.
See you guys at 12. That's our time.
An awesome day.
Yep.